Good morning, student. In this lecture, we will be doing sum number 6 of retirement, which is given on page number 266. Let's see the sum. Rohit, Mohit and Virat are partners sharing profit and loss in the ratio of 4:3:2. Balance sheet of the firm as on 31/3/2017 was as under. Balance sheet is given: capital, reserve fund, workman compensation reserve, partners loan, creditors, goodwill, land and building machinery, stock, debtors, bank and advertisement company expense. Rohit retired on 1/4/2017. Terms of retirement is as under. So friends, here balance sheet is given on 31/3/2017 and Rohit is retiring on 1/4/2017. That means you can consider it that he is retiring on the date of balance sheet itself, because that is the closing balance sheet of 31/3/2017, and on the date 1/4/2017 the same balance sheet is going to be there. So he is retiring on the date of balance sheet itself, right? There is a difference of 1 day only. Okay, let us see adjustment. Adjustment number 1, value of land building is rupees 1,80,000. So put a tick mark near land and building number 1 in balance sheet. Then machinery is to be reduced by rupees 15,000. So write 2 near machinery. Then provision for doubtful debt is to be kept 10% on debtors. So near debtors we will keep 3. We will write 3. Rupees 5,000 not payable to creditors. So near creditors we will write 4. Valuation of goodwill is rupees 1,80,000. We will be giving entry for this. We will be finding gaining ratio and we will be giving entry for the share of retiring partner separately. So no need to tick mark anywhere. New profit and loss sharing ratio is given 2:1. That will be applicable when we will find gain share or gain ratio. And the last one is rupees 20,000 are to be paid to Rohit and balance will be kept as a loan. As we are going to make cash account, so no need to mark anywhere. We will be giving direct effect of this transaction. So friends, here we have marked all 4 adjustment. Now one by one we will be taking items of balance sheet and we will be recording accordingly, considering the effect of adjustment. So let us start with the liability side. The first item at liability side is capital account. Rohit, Mohit, Virat 1,60,000, 96,000 and 80,000. We very well know where to write it. Will be written in capital account, credit side by balance brought forward in Rohit's column 1,60,000, Mohit's column 196,000 and Virat column 80,000. Reserve fund is given 45,000. And their ratio is given 4:3:2. We know reserve fund is a reserve undistributed profit. We will be distributing among all partners in their old ratio. Old ratio is given to us 4:3:2. So when we will distribute rupees 45,000 in the ratio of 4:3:2, we will find 20,000, 15,000 and 10,000. So by reserve fund 20,000 Rohit's column, 15,000 Mohit's column and Virat's column 10,000. Next item is workman compensation reserve. Workman compensation reserve, again it is a reserve and no adjustment is there on this. So directly will be distributed among the partners in their old ratio, which is 4:3:2. The workman compensation reserve amount is 13,500. When we will distribute among all 3 partners in their old proportion, which is 4:3:2, we will get 6,000, 4,500 and 3,000 respectively for Rohit, Mohit and Virat. So by workman compensation reserve, 6,000 in Rohit's column, 4,500 in Mohit's column and 3,000 in Virat's column. Next item. Partners loan. Rohit's loan is given 10,000 and Mohit's loan is given 16,000. Normally partners loan is carried forward in new balance sheet, but here 2 partners loan are given, one Rohit and one Mohit. Mohit is a continuing partner, so his loan will be carried forward in balance sheet, but Rohit is retiring, so Rohit's loan will be transferred to his capital account. First of all, we will see Rohit's loan. How to write here? In Rohit's loan, in capital account of Rohit, by Rohit's loan account and 10,000 the amount is. Okay. Now talk about Mohit's loan. As he is a continuing partner, his loan will be continue as no other information is given, so that will be recorded in balance sheet. So Mohit's loan balance sheet 16,000. Okay. Next item. Creditor 64,000 with the marked adjustment number 4. Adjustment number 4 says rupees 5,000 not payable to creditor. So friends, creditors are given 64,000 and adjustment number 4 says that rupees 5,000 are not payable to creditor. That means it is one kind of profit to us. We will be reducing this amount from the amount of creditors, and this is, as it is a profit to us, will be credited to revaluation account. So here it is, creditors are given 64,000 minus not payable 5,000, outer column 59,000, and this 5,000 rupees will be credited to revaluation account. Here it is by creditors account 5,000. If you want to give entry for this, it will be creditors account debit to revaluation account 5,000. But in this particular sum, we are not asked to pass entry, so we are not writing the journal entry. Okay, next item. So here we have already finished with the liability side. Now we will continue with asset side. The first item is given goodwill 36,000. Now partners, friends, as this is a goodwill of old firm, rupees 36,000, we know very well the old firm goodwill is distributed among old partners in their old ratio. Old partners means including the retiring partner. So that will be debited to their capital account. Here it is to goodwill account in their old profit and loss sharing ratio, which is 4:3:2. The amount will come 16,000, 12,000 and 8,000. Okay. Next item. Land building 1,50,000 and adjustment number 1 is there. Value of land and building is rupees 1,80,000. So friends, land and building is given 1,50,000 and it is written in the adjustment number 1 that value of land and building is to be considered rupees 1,80,000. That means there is an increase of rupees 30,000 in the value of land and building. Land and building is an asset, so this is our profit. We will be adding to the land and building, and as it is a profit, it will be credited to revaluation account. Let's see here, land and building 1,50,000 in balance sheet plus increase 30,000, outer column 1,80,000. This 30,000 being profit will be credited to revaluation account. So revaluation account by land and building rupees 30,000. Okay, next item. Next item is machinery rupees 90,000 with adjustment number 2. Adjustment number 2 says value of machinery is to be reduced by rupees 15,000. So friends, value of machine is to be reduced by rupees 15,000. That is what, this is a loss. So 90,000 is the given value and 15,000 we have to reduce. So 75,000 will be writing in the outer column in balance sheet. So here it is. Machinery account 90,000 minus reduce 15,000, outer column 75,000. This 15,000 being loss will be debited to revaluation account. So here it is to machinery 15,000. Okay. Next item. Next item is stock 85,000. There is no adjustment, so directly we will be writing it in the balance sheet outer column. Stock rupees 85,000 unchanged because there is no adjustment on this amount, so directly will be written at the asset side of balance sheet. Next, debtors are given 60,000 and BDR is deducted rupees 4,000. 56,000 is the outer column amount and it is marked with the adjustment number 3. So adjustment number 3 we have to go through, which says provision for doubtful debts is to be kept at 10% on debtors. Now friends, debtors are given 60,000 and BDR is given 4,000, but adjustment says BDR is to be kept, provision for doubtful debts, that is BDR. BDR is to be kept at 10%, so it will be 6,000. That means there is an increase of rupees 2,000 in the amount of BDR. This is a provision, increase in the value of provision is a loss, so same will be debited to the revaluation account. Let's see here. Debtors 60,000, debtors 60,000 minus BDR 6,000, outer column 54,000. Already we had BDR 4,000, now BDR is 6,000, so there is an increase of 2,000. That 2,000 will be considered as one kind of loss, will be debited to revaluation account. So here it is to BDR rupees 2000, to BDR account rupees 2000. Bank balance, bank rupees 63,000. Here we will be opening bank oblique cash account, because cash account is not given, cash balance is not given, so we will be opening a combined account that will be known as bank oblique cash account. Bank oblique cash account, and it is given 63,000, so two balance brought down 63,000. This is the opening balance of cash on that date. Next item is advertisement campaign expenditure with 500. Advertisement campaign expenditure 4,500. It is a expenditure which is not written off, or you can call it fictitious asset. This is also known as deferred revenue expenditure. In short, we need to write it off among all the partners in their own profit and loss sharing ratio. So this will be debited to partners capital account. Here we have debited at the debit side of partners capital account to advertisement campaign expense 2,000, 1,500 and 1,000. So friends, here we have finished with the items of balance sheet. Now we will be going through all the adjustment, the effect of, normally we have given an effect of few adjustment, the rest of the adjustments effect we will give, and then we will finish our sum. So friends, we have finished with all the adjustment. Now we will see, we have finished with balance sheet. Now we will see adjustment one by one. The value of land and building 1,80,000, we have already done the effect. Value of machinery is to be reduced, we have finished it. Provision for doubtful debt, we have also given the effect of this. Then 5,000 not payable to creditor, it is also done. Now fifth comes valuation of goodwill is rupees 1,80,000, and sixth adjustment says the new profit and loss sharing ratio of Mohit and Virat is 2:1. So friends, the value of goodwill is given 1,80,000, that is the value of firm's goodwill. We will have to find the value of Rohit's amount, means value of goodwill of Rohit, and that will be given to him by Mohit and Virat in their gain ratio. So first of all, we need here gain share, right? We will be finding it. Old ratio is given to us 4:3:2. Rohit is retiring. New ratio is 2:1 between Mohit and Virat. We will find the gain share. Gain share equals to new share minus old share. We talk about Mohit. Mohit's new share is 2/3 and his old share was 3/9. So 2/3 minus 3/9, 9 will be the LCM. 3 3 is 9, 3 2 is 6, and 9 1 is 9, 1 3 is 3. So 6 minus 3/9, 3/9 is the gain share of Mohit. Now talk about Virat. Virat's new share is 1/3 and his old share was 2/9. 9 will be LCM. 3 3 is 9 and 3 1 is 3, and 9 1 is 9, 1 2 is 2, 3 minus 2/9, 1/9 is the gain of Virat. So removing the denominator as they are equal, 3:1 will be the gain ratio of Mohit and Virat. So gain ratio between Mohit and Virat is 3:1. That means whatever amount will be payable to Rohit as a goodwill, it will be paid by Mohit and Virat in the proportion of 3:1. Okay. So now we will find the how much amount is to be paid to Rohit as a goodwill. So firm's goodwill is given 1,80,000. Firm's goodwill is valued rupees 1,80,000. Rohit's share in goodwill will be 1,80,000 into his share. His share was 4/9, so 4/9 comes to 80,000. So here friends, 80,000 will be payable to Rohit as a goodwill, which will be paid off by Mohit and Virat in the proportion, in their gain proportion, which is 3:1. So 80,000 we will distribute in the proportion of 3:1. We will get 60,000 and 20,000. 60,000 for Mohit and 20,000 for Virat. Right? So finally we could found that Mohit will be paying rupees 60,000 and Virat will be paying rupees 20,000 to Rohit for goodwill. As we know, paying means we have to give effect in the capital account. So here Mohit's and Virat's capital account will be debited and Rohit's capital account will be credited. So let's see how to give effect in capital account. We have to credit in Rohit's column. Rohit's column we have to credit 80,000. So 60,000 from Mohit. So by Mohit's capital 60,000. And 20,000 from Virat, so by Virat capital 20,000. So this way 80,000 will be credited to Rohit's column. Now we have to debit 60,000 and 20,000 in the column of Mohit and Virat respectively. So here we will be writing to Rohit's capital in particulars column. Rohit column dash 60,000 in Mohit and Virat 20,000. So this is how we give effect of goodwill in retiring partners capital and the gaining partners capital account. Okay, now let's see the last adjustment. Last adjustment says rupees 20,000 are to be paid to Rohit and balance is to be kept as his loan. Friends, here they are talking about the settlement of the account of Rohit who is retiring. 20,000 amount is to be paid in cash and remaining amount is to be converted in his loan. But before giving effect of this transaction, we have to close revaluation account and transfer profit or loss on revaluation to their capital account. So before giving effect of this adjustment, we will be closing our revaluation account. Let's close the revaluation account. Credit side two amounts are there, 5,000 and 30,000. 35,000 is the total of credit side. Debit side total is 17,000. Only two amounts are there, 15,000 and 2,000. So the difference of two comes 18,000, which is here 18,000, and this is the profit on revaluation which will be distributed among all partners in old proportion, which is 4:3:2. So when we will transfer it, we will find, we will distribute this amount 18,000, we will get 8,000, 6,000 and 4,000 respectively for Rohit, Mohit and Virat. So these 8,000, 6,000 and 4,000 will be credited to their partners, their capital account. Here it is via revaluation account, 8,000, 6,000 and 4,000. Okay, so we have finished with the revaluation account. Now we will be talking about the amount payable to the Rohit. To find amount payable to the Rohit, we will be making difference of his column. Credit side total of his column is rupees 2,84,000 and debit side there are only two amounts, 16,000 and 2,000, 18,000. So when we will find, it will be like 2,84,000 is the credit side and 18,000 at the debit side. That is 2,66,000 is the amount payable to Rohit. Now our adjustment number 7 says that out of the amount payable to Rohit, rupees 20,000 is paid in cash. So we will be paying cash 20,000, remaining 2,46,000 will be his loan. So loan will be 2,46,000 and cash payment will be 20,000. So here we will be writing, first of all we will be writing the payment to cash account 20,000 and then to Rohit's loan account 2,46,000 and your account will get tallied. Okay, now second effect of these two will be given, cash account will be given, cash effect will be given in cash account and Rohit's loan will be written in balance sheet. So cash account we will be writing by Rohit's capital 20,000 and in balance sheet liability side Rohit's loan 2,46,000. You will not be adding both the amount because Rohit is no more a partner now. You cannot write it like partner's loan and Rohit you will sum up. No, Rohit is a different person now. He is not a partner. So you will be writing both the loan separately. Rohit's loan 46,000 and Mohit's loan we have already written, which is 16,000. Okay. So we have given effect of last adjustment also. Now this is the time to close the remaining accounts. First of all we will close the cash account. Cash account debit side 63,000 is there and credit side only 20,000 is there. So the difference will come 43,000 at the credit side, that is the debit balance. So 43,000. This is the closing balance of cash will be written in balance sheet. So balance sheet cash balance 43,000. 48,000. Now what we have to do? We have to close the partners capital account. Partners capital account we will close. Rohit, we have already finished with credit side. In the column of Mohit, there is a total of 1,21,500 and debit side total is 73,500. When we will deduct 73,500 from 1,21,500, we will get 48,000. So 48,000 is the balance of Mohit's capital. Let's talk about Virat. Virat's total is 94,000 and debit side total amount is 29,000. 8,000 plus 1,000 plus 20,000. So when we will deduct 29,000 out from 97,000, we get 68,000. So 48,000 and 68,000 are the closing capital of Mohit and Virat. We will be writing it by balance carry forward 48,000 and 68,000. So here capital account 48,000, 68,000, outer column 1,16,000. So we have finished with everything. Now we will be making total of balance sheet which comes 4,37,000 both the side. So this is how we will be solving sum number 6. Next lecture we will continue with sum number 7.